Every day in the United States, 22 people die waiting for an organ transplant. Every 10 minutes, one person is added to the waiting list. And right now, over 100,000 people await their life-saving transplant. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Caitlyn Limbert, and I'm a senior at the British School, Jakarta. What if your mom, dad, or grandparent receive news from their doctor that they have chronic kidney disease or liver failure? Detrimental diseases like these can be life-threatening, and they will threaten your life if you don't get a transplant immediately. Imagine living your normal day-to-day life knowing that theirs hangs in the balance, and questioning whether they're going to make it to the surgery day in who knows how long, because there are more than 99,900 people waiting for them. Now multiply this by 100,000, and this is the number of patients and their families who are waiting to get a transplant, and who are constantly contemplating the matter of life and death. This figure is definitely much worse considering that we barely have any data from less developed countries like Indonesia. But what if you could create tissues and organs from scratch outside of a patient's body? Because remember, when you're doing a transplant, let's say your grandparent does receive a transplant. That's amazing. Not so fast though. You've passed the first security checkpoint, but now you've come to the second. Remember, you're taking cells from somebody else's body and you're placing them into your body. These cells from someone else's body have an entirely different profile, a different key, a different password. But your body is specifically looking for their specific password. And just like your iPhone annoyingly disables after several missed tries, your body can do the same. It can reject the organ transplant because it cannot accept these foreign cells. So now we're facing two major challenges with organ transplants. First, it is actually getting the organ, and second, it is battling the rejection that comes after that. But again, what if we could create and engineer these tissues and organs outside of the body from scratch? Maybe even use the patient's own cells to prevent immune rejection. Well, may I present to you bioprinting. Bioprinting combines the precision of 3D printing with the intricacies of biology, offering promising solutions to some of the most pressing challenges in the medical field. This area of cutting-edge technology, although still in its early stages, has gone through some major breakthroughs with various cells and tissues in recent years. Talking about tissues, let's talk more about blood vessel grafts, aka vascular grafts. The use of vascular grafts have been rising due to the increased prevalence of coronary bypass surgery, the redirecting of blood flow around a blocked artery in the heart, and microvascular flap reconstructions, the transplantation of healthy tissue from one area of the body to another, and then sewing donor and recipient blood vessels together. The current most widespread treatment options of taking another blood vessel from another part of your body, called autologous grafts, and synthetic grafts such as PET or PTFE plastic, have not been able to provide the full function of a blood vessel. For example, let's take autologous grafts. They're not always available, and they require invasive harvesting, as you're literally opening a wound in another part of your body to take that blood vessel from. And they also have long-term low patency rates, which is basically the ability to stay open and unobstructed. While synthetic grafts have been used as successful alternatives to autologous grafts, they have their own downsides. Their adoption for small vessels with diameters smaller than 6 millimeters have been limited because of mismatched biomechanical, physical, and chemical properties. Because of these limitations, there is a persistent demand to discover bioengineered vascular grafts with a high long-term success rate, particularly with small diameter vascular disease. Just like 3D printing can mold any shape you'd like with plastic, bioprinter does the same thing too, just with cells. Now this is very interesting because now you can mold cells into various architectures and sizes, especially with a focus on the small diameter blood vessels, which we really need in the medical field. Using G and STL code, you first need to create a digital file that the printer will use as a blueprint to create your model layer by layer. These languages consist of exact XYZ coordinates that determine where the print head moves, whether that's up and down, side to side, the extruder temperature, and the print bed temperature, and so much more. This is why it enables the precise deposition of biomaterials and living cells, together termed as bioink. It deposits this bioink into well-defined patterns that closely mimic the structure of blood vessels. It is very, very challenging to create a structure that imitates the 3D complex tube-like structure of a blood vessel. Therefore, we turn to collagen, one of the most vital components in blood vessels. Now, when I talk about the word collagen, the first thing that probably pops into your mind is skin. But collagen has a bigger function than this in your body. It serves by providing strength and structure in your body, by holding cells together in tissues, muscles, skin, and even bones. And just like scaffolding significantly supports the construction of a new building, collagen the aim of our experimentation was to create a collagen scaffold that will be used as a structural basis for blood vessel cells to grow and proliferate. So this past summer, I had the wonderful opportunity to operate bioprinting technology with spice and study novel skin constructs at the front lines of regenerative medicine and tissue engineering research. I would like to take this opportunity to focus on the former, bioprinting technology. And the image you see up on screen is actually the bioprinter I worked with. Now, working with the bioprinter is no easy task. From loading the cartridges with volatile bioink to calibrating such a precise and large instrument. Not to mention the seniors looking over your shoulder. I'm kidding. The undergraduate and graduate mentors I had were amazing. And they fried the cables of our second bioprinter as well, which is just a testament to say that working with the bioprinter is no easy work. So how exactly did our lab carry this out? Well, to create our collagen scaffold, we took collagen, especially type 1 TL collagen from rat tails, and we combined it with Pluronic F127, which serves as a base gel or base solution. We combined this into one bioink and then printed it into a desired scaffolding shape, as you can see in the image in the center. Now, the role of Pluronic is just as a medium for the collagen fibers to grow and create a strong structure. So once that has happened, we do not need the pluronic molecules anymore. So we wash it off with deionized water, basically pure water. And what are we left with? Just the collagen structure that we can use for multiple tissue engineering uses. As with most scientific studies, we encountered several challenges along the way. One was that while the pluronic was being washed away by the water, it seemed that the collagen was also washed away. Something with this mixture of pluronic and specific type of collagen seemed to inhibit the formation of collagen fibers. On top of that, I'm not going to lie to you, bioprinting can be a very frustrating process. 1 minute it'll be printing out flawless fine lines in your petri dish, and the next it'll be spewing out large blobs of ink. So where do we go from here? Where do we go now? How can we advance this research? Well, the first step to address these challenges is to try a different type of collagen called collagen. This collagen basically gels more slowly so we can better control its properties. In addition to that, we need to figure out how to be able to maintain the properties of collagen, especially when it reaches the nozzle, because the bioprinter does have a fan, but once it reaches the nozzle away from the fan, it is hard to contain and maintain the conditions such as temperature and other details like that. As of now, we are focusing on how to create scaffolds for live cell grafts, skin constructs, and many other applications. 3D bioprinting represents a groundbreaking intersection of live biology and technology, offering solutions to some of the most critical challenges with tissue and organ donor shortages. By offering solutions that will be further developed, we can reduce waiting times and expand the possibilities of organ replacement. Remember the 100,000 of people waiting on the organ waiting list? Imagine how many tens, hundreds of thousands of people's lives can be saved every year with bioprinting technology. Thank you.